Namaste. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining practice today. This is Dharma Yoga all levels practice. So of course, practice according to your abilities and your comfort level. There are some more advanced variations for those who are more able-bodied. I'll try to give some modifications as well. And please practice, again, mindfully and consciously. So on that note, let's begin. Close your eyes. Go inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything you need is already within. Excuse me. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's do the mantra, the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, which means I bow to the inner light. So just call and response. do some pranayama now. So we're going to start off, we're going to do the main breathing, alternate nostril breathing. So there's a breath retention here, and the count is 3, 12, 6. So 3 on the inhale, 12 on the breath retention, 6 on the exhale. So we're starting through the active nostril, which I'll show you in a second, and then hold the breath while we plug both sides of the nose. Exhale through the less active side. Inhale through the less active side immediately. Close the nose again. Hold the breath, and then exhale through the active side. So in beginning and ending on the active side. Through the breath retention, we apply the throat in a root lock. To engage the throat lock, you bring the chest up very high and bring your chin down onto the chest. So this will keep the back straight if you bring your chest up. Try not to shrug your shoulders up. Lift your chest instead. Your tongue comes to the teeth, the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, and the attention is at the space between the eyebrows. For the root lock, you imagine you're contracting all the muscles of the perineum and pulling them up towards the navel. So really tighten up those muscles and pull them up and in. So now to find the active nostril, you're going to close off one nostril at a time and send a few puffs of air through, in and out, and see which side seems more open. You do it on each side, and then the side that seems more open is your active side. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and a thumb connected, other fingers extended on the left knee. Right hand is always used to control the passage through the nose. Second, third, and third fingers fold down and then turn the palm towards you. The thumb for the right nostril, the right ring finger for the left nostril. Only use these two fingers on the right hand. All right, so now close off the left side, the right side, and breathe in and out through the left. And then open up that right side, close the left side with the right ring finger. See which side feels more open. Mine seems to be the left side. If both sides feel the same, default to the left side as your active nostril. They change every 2 hours, in fact, the active nostril. So now sit up tall and we'll begin. So now, left hand in Jnana Mudra, exhale completely, empty the lungs. Close off the less active side. Inhale through the active. 3, hold the breath, close both sides of the nose. 2, 3, 4, apply the throat in the root lock. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the less active side, release the locks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side. 3, inflate the lungs, raise the chest, then hold the breath for 12. Attention's at the third eye. 6, throat and root lock engaged. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the active side. 2, 3, that's one cycle. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the active. 3, hold the breath. Again, chin on the chest, contract the root muscles, third eye attention. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the less active side, gradually, completely empty by the 6 count. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side as fully as possible. 3, lift the chest, hold the breath now. Everything stops, all the fluctuations of the mind, the body, movements, and even the emotions. 11, 12. Exhale through the active side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time together. Inhale. 3, hold for 12. Feels like you're frozen. Body, mind, and the emotions. Exhale through the less active side. 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side. Fill as much as you can. Hold the breath now. Throat lock, root lock, third eye attention. Exhale through the active side. Continue on your own for a few more cycles. Ideally, when you're doing this at home, try for 12 cycles at minimum. Increase as you get comfortable, week by week or 2 weeks by 2 weeks. Remain consistent in your practice. This helps to calm the mind and put in a state, quiet state for meditation. Good concentration skills is the precursor for meditation. Meditation is simply uninterrupted concentration. Really try to keep your attention at the space between the eyebrows during the breath retention. Draw all the prana up there through your attention. Be patient, adhere to this very important practice for when the asanas leave you. You still can do this practice. It's just a little taste of it. Next time you exhale out of your active side, conclude. Make sure you do the full cycle. Do not shortchange on the breath retention. Once you're done, just take a moment to just notice any changes in your state of mind, body, or emotions. Just be like the witness, unconcerned, unjudging of what you observe. And throughout the practice, continue to be in a mindset of the witness. Merge with God, pretend that you are the supreme witness watching everything, and as God is present in all beings and all loving, all compassionate. Just try to see everything through the eyes of compassion. So let's begin. So we're going to start off first with charging breathing. Bring the feet about 10 inches apart. Raise your arms above the head. On the inhale, imagine you draw the earth's energy right up to the body, to the fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding all the attention and the breath at the fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale all the way back down. Feel the earth's energy flushing right down throughout the body. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, use your attention to attract all the energy from the earth right up to the fingertips. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding again at the fingertips. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale all the way back down. 2, 3, 4. Feel energy flushing right down again throughout the body. Last time, pull all the energy from the earth right up to the fingertips. Feel and visualize it rising up. Then holding at the fingertips, hold the breath. Exhale all the way back down. Feel fully charged. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Bring the arms down now. Let's do a few warm-up exercises to prepare for the practice. We'll start to swing from side to side. Feel as though your arms are heavy ropes hitting the body. Roll them around the body. Get a little bit of a deeper twist. Good. And now from here, place your hands on the hips. Roll the head in circles. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears, but at the same time, try to bring your ears to the shoulders. Really stretch your neck. And then change the direction. Try to see the floor in all directions as the head moves around. The chin coming right on the chest, the back of the head coming to the top of the back. And now, left foot a little bit forward to the right. Going to circle the right arm around. Imagine you have a weight in the right hand. 4 turns. And then switch directions. If you're having trouble with your shoulder, you can always support with your left hand. And then forward again. And back. And forward. And back. And then change sides. Right foot in front, and left hand circles forward and back. Imagine you're winding up to throw a ball. Again, forward and back, forward and back. Bring your feet now apart in the same line. Arms up, take hold of the opposite elbows, twist, bend to the left, go to the right, stretch the upside of the body, try not to make folds in the waist on the underside, to the left and to the right. Come up, little circles, mostly the head and shoulders, and neck, and then bring a little bit more movement into it by using the chest and the upper back as well. And if you feel comfortable, make full turns of the trunk. Come all the way down, making large circles in front of the body. Use momentum, carry you right through the circle, swiftly and powerfully. And now, the other direction. Head and the shoulders first, and the neck. Little circles. And then maybe incorporating the chest and the upper back. Open up the movements a little bit. And if you feel up to it, the whole trunk now rotates. Trace large circles in front of the body. And then coming back up. Now release the hands. Shake the wrists, shake the fingers as fast as you can. Spin around in circles if you like, very rapidly, and then the other way. Or flap them up and down like the wings of a hummingbird. Can't even see the fingers, they're going so fast, moving like a blur. Good, and now from here, take the arms out to the side. If you need, you can hold on to a wall or a chair or something and just swing the right leg back and forth. Just loosen up the hip, try to get the knee right to the shoulder. And the other leg. And release. Good, now jump up and down. If you can. If it's too much for your knees, you just bounce, like lift the heels. But if you can, jump as high as you can, the feet leave the floor completely. The blood moving, go in circles, be like a child, have fun with it, go the other way, hop on the right foot and the left foot, good, a few more jumps, right up, and release. Okay, now let's move to the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Remember these words from the Bhagavad Gita. Knowledge spread in practice. Meditation is better than knowledge. Renunciation of the fruits of action is better than meditation. And peace immediately follows such renunciation. So now renounce all the fruits of the practice. Concentrate mostly on just trying to find God and how God manifests in all forms and beings. So move together one, or imagine moving together in one with all beings to deliver benefits to everyone, everywhere. And everything, anywhere, everywhere. Surya Namaskara. Sun salutation. Raise your arms up over the head. Reach up and back as much as you see fit. Fold the body down onto your legs. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. Right foot back. Lower the knee down. Sink down to the seat and push the seat in. Come into high plank. Bring your knees down. The seat all the way back behind the heels. Now pull with your arms. Glide forward and through into cobra. Lift the chest. Bring the head back. Come all the way back. The seat behind the heels again. Doing this 2 more times. Pull the floor against the floor. Imagine you pull the floor towards you. This will help propel yourself forward with more power and ease. Come all the way back one last time. Brush your nose to the ground. Come forward gracefully into cobra. Keep being a witness, watching the body moving. Roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Allow the line in the back to soften. Lift the hands, bring the right foot forward. If that's too much, lower the knee down. Use the right hand to come bring the foot forward if you can't get the foot between the hands the first time. Bring the feet back together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right to standing, lift the chest and the head, come back to the heart. Don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that feels natural, that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. The breath will figure out what to do and deliver fluidity and ease of movement. The left foot back this time into your lunge. Come into the plank, lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Again, glide forward between the arms, smoothly. Lift the chest, bring the head all the way back. And all the way back with the seat behind the heels. Once again, brush your nose to the ground as you come forward. Feel like a snake creeping through the grass. Try to put yourself in the body of what you're representing. All the way back again. Come forward. Into your cobra. Roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back, allow the head to drop towards the ground. Left foot steps forward, modify as you need to. Bring the feet back together, chest on the sides, head down. Come right to standing, reach up and back, over the head. Come back to source, that source of divine love, the heart. Raise your arms up over the head. Come down, imagine you're facing the sun doing this. The warmth and the light of the sun represents God. Right foot back, back into high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, and forehead. This time immediately into cobra. Roll over your toes. Roll back over your toes, back into downward facing dog right away. Look to the hands, right foot steps forward to the hands, sink down to the seat. Then feet together, pull the body against the legs, bow down as though in humbleness. Come right to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Reflect devotion, love, surrender in all the movements. Tap into the consciousness of the movements. And here, making like you're bowing in humility. Left foot back as you lift your head and look up. Gesture surrender into high plank. Lower down, Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, forehead down. Slide right through into the cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Keep the lines, the curves in your spine smooth. Imagine you can see right through your body at the spine. No sharp bends or kinks in that line anywhere. The line in the back. Hands back to the heart. Let's add on here. Reach up and back, hips forward. Go down into Uttanasana. Bend your knees, bend your belly onto your thighs, join hands behind the back. Push the chest towards the knees and then use the body to push the legs back. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. If you can't, don't worry about it. Keep your belly with your thighs. If your legs are straight, bring your nose between your shins and your hands beyond your head, in front of the head. Now release the hands, bring the right foot down. Lower the knee down, or right foot back. Bring the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Kapiyasana. Make like a crescent moon shape. Pull the body out of the hips. And then bring the hands down.
Now plant your hands. You can either come into plank. If you feel more able, raise the left leg up. We're going to come forward into your plank pose. Keep your leg up. Lower down. Keep your elbows close to the body. Your chest comes to the ground first. If you need to, however, you bring your knee down at the same time as the chest is moving. Come forward into your cobra. Back into all-encompassing. Raise your right leg up and back. Look between the hands. Bring your shoulders forward over the fingertips so your foot lands softly, not a big heavy thud on the ground. Sink down to the seat. Raise your arms overhead. Arch back. Make as though you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Left foot comes in, meet the right. Chest down onto your thighs again. Join the hands. Pull your body down onto your legs. Think of this as an offering to God, who is the witness watching. Raise your arms up over the head. Bring your hands back to the heart. Do that variation again and again. Reach the arms up over the head, hips forward, engage your buttocks to help support as you go back. And then come forward into Uttanasana, chest on your thighs, join the hands, and keep your knees bent as you need to keep your body connected to your thighs. Otherwise, push your legs straight. The seat comes up over the heels. And then release the hands down. Left foot back, lower the knee down. Sink down to the seat, push the seat in. Pull your arms up. Telescope the body out of the hips. Use your arms to pull your body further up out of the hips. And bring your hands down. Now you can come into plank or swing the right leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Come forward into your plank position, shoulders over the fingertips. Get an elbow squeeze towards the body so you can come down with control. The toes come down, follow through as a cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Downward facing dog, mount the heart. Left foot comes all the way up and back. And step the foot between the hands. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Keep practicing according to your condition. Just do your best, wherever that is. Hands come down beside your left foot and the right foot comes in beside your left. Chest on your thighs again. Join the hands and pull the body down into a forward fold. Fold the body right in half with gesture of humbleness here. The head low, eyes downcast. And sweep your arms up over the head. Make like you're surrendering yourself completely to service to God. Hands back to the heart. A couple more variations. Reach your arms up over the head. Lift, arch back, and then bring your hands down to the ground. Bring your head and chest forward, press into your hands. Come back into Chaturanga. You can hop or walk. Bend your elbows as you come down to make the landing soft. Come into upward facing dog if you can. If you need to, you can keep your hips on the ground. But otherwise, try to raise the thighs and the knees away from the ground. The hips come up. Now, pulse a little bit. You can bend the toes under if it's easier. Try to get your chest further forward, your head back. Your nose up like a dog howling at the moon. And roll over your toes, round your back. Back into downward facing dog. Here, mount the heart. Bounce to the chest. Try to get your arms, your shoulders close to the ground without bending your arms. Those who are very flexible, try to get your forehead or maybe your chin to the ground. Good. Now from here, getting ready to come forward, lift the heels, bend the knees, lift the hands. Bring your feet forward softly, jumping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. From here, come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up over the head. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Lift head and chest, press into your hands. Again, softly back into Chaturanga, hopping or walking. Into upward facing dog. Imitate the dog howling at the moon. And roll over your toes. Back into downward facing dog. And melt the heart. Feel like a dog stretching its back. And be like a dog who's loyal to the master. Just try to reflect that in your pose. Lift the heels, bend the knees to the hands. Bring your feet to the hands. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands to the heart. So 2 more rounds faster. Raise your arms up over the head. Come forward and down just to build a little bit of heat with head and chest. Back into Chaturanga. through into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Come forward again, roll over your toes into upward facing dog. Or cobra, round your back, tuck your chin in, back into downward facing dog. Come again, roll over your toes, round your back, and then uncoil, and back into downward facing dog. Melt the heart. Lift the heels, bend the knees up to the hands, bring your feet to the hands, pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, bring the hands back to the heart. Again, reach the arms up, arch back as much as you see fit. Pull the body down onto your legs, lift the head and chest, come into chaturanga, through into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now raise the left leg up, lift the head, arch the back. Come back down, tuck the chin in, raise the right leg up, arch the back, head up, back into downward facing dog, tuck the chin in. Again, left leg up, and down, tuck the chin in, right leg up, arch the back, and down, head down. One more time, left leg up, lift the leg as high as you can, and down, right leg up, lift the chest, lift the head, open up the chest, and back down, tuck the chin in. Lift the heels, bend the knees, spring or walk forward, pull the body down onto your legs. Come right to standing, arch back. Bring the hands back to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. From the heart, inhale up to the space to the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Connect body to the mind, to the spirit, all one. And know that you're neither the body, the mind, nor the emotions. You're beyond all that. Now, let's come back. Let's try some balance poses. I'm going to start off with standing on your left foot, take hold of the right heel. Now try to bring your leg and your arm up at the same time. Now depending on flexibility, it might look more like a T shape with your arms level with your shoulders. Try to get your legs straight. If you can't get your legs straight, you can hold underneath the knee, just do your best. More flexible, bring your foot closer to your leg closer up to your shoulder. Lean to your left. You want to have your fingertips and your toes on the same line. Now variations here. Keep your leg engaged, your right leg. Let go of the foot, but try not to let the foot drop. So keep your leg engaged, let it float there. Good, now bring it in front. Take hold of the knee and pull the knee in towards your chest. Lean back a little bit. Now you can stay here or a little bit more difficult, challenging. Pull the leg out in front. Bring your hands to the heart and lean back. So you lie low, like you're lying on your table. And then if you can take your arms out to the side, look beyond your toes. And return, come back. Try it on the other foot now. Plant down through the right foot. Take hold of the left heel. Try to get your leg and your arm up at the same time. Again, to the level height that you can. More flexible, bring it right close to the shoulder, the leg. Lift up through the chest, look up. Be like a magnificent ballet dancer, a star performer in a show. Now again, engage your leg muscles. If you want, you can try to let go of the foot. Try not to allow the foot to drop. And then bring the knee in. Hug the leg to the shin or hold on to the shin and just try to bring your chest, your belly towards your thigh. Lean back if you can. Soften the standing leg a little with the knee. You can stay here or put your foot out in front. Bring your hands to the chest. Lean back. Eventually try to have your shoulders at the same height as the foot. If you can, bring your arms out to the side. And release, come back down. That's one takes determination to come to that pose. But just keep trying, constant practice, and maybe the body will obey once you see it in your mind. So now we're going to take hold of the left wrist with your right hand. Take your left foot forward, And come down into balancing T. So making like the letter T. Like you're lying on the table flat. You can stay here. If you're having trouble with the hands, you can take them out to the side. Or fingertips on the ground if you need to. Just do what you need to find a balance. Those you want to go further, interlace your fingers, open up the palms, toppling tree. To fall a little bit towards your toes. Lift the head, bring your foot up higher. Good, now from here, release the hands, bring the left fingertips down on the ground, turn to the right. Adho Chandrasana. Raise right arm up. If this is too much, you can always come down onto your knee and do it from here. Again, so be creative to find your way into the poses that is suitable for your condition. More flexible, you can take hold of the foot and push the foot back into your hand away from the seat. Try to get your foot up higher. Good, those who are very flexible, have no shoulder issues, will do it this way. Can take hold of the foot from the outside the foot and bring it up over the head. So again, make sure you have flexible shoulders to do this one. Bring your elbow back high in the shoulders so that you can turn it forward without torquing the joint too much. And from here, release, come back. So let's try it on the other side now. Taking hold of the right wrist with your left hand, walk the right foot forward, and then hinge at the hips. Try to get your body level to the ground. Foot and head at the same height. Stay here, or take your toppling tree. Curve your back. Lift your head a little bit, but your head's coming down about the height of the knee. Your left foot comes up higher than the head if you can. Pull the hands over your shoulders. Release the hand, bring the right hand down. Maybe you bring the right shin down if you need to. Come into Adho Chandrasana. Bend your knee. Option to take the foot, push the foot back into your hand and pull the foot up as far as away from your seat as you can. Open up through the chest. Hips and shoulders stack them on top of another. Again, if you're very flexible in your shoulders, if you know how to do it, for professionals, as Dharma says, take hold of the outside of the foot, press the thumb to the base of the toes, bring the elbow up high so that you can turn your shoulder forward without taxing the joint. Be mindful again in your practice and come back down. Okay, so now stand in the middle of the mat, facing the long edge of the mat. Bring your fingertips in line with your elbows. Jump your feet out to the side and your arms out like a star. Turn to your left, so if you're not facing the right way, like you're facing away from the camera, just turn around 180 degrees. Virabhadrasana 2. Come forward a little bit so that your knees over the toes, your back knees close to the ground. Of course, according to your hips. Left hand come down to the ground, right arm over the head, Parshvakonasana. Make sure your right hip is not sticking up. Flatten it out so your foot all the way to the hand is a straight line, right through the hip, right through the body. If you need to, come up higher. You bring a forearm on your thigh and you stay upright more. Pull the right shoulder back. Option here to go into a bind. Left shoulder has to come down. Close enough so you can get your arm underneath your leg. Join your hands beside your seat, not over the seat. Okay, so you try not to bind over your seats, a little bit more of a reach beside the seat against the left hip, left thigh, sorry. Pull the right shoulder back. Then from here, bring your hands down to the ground, turn forward, and then lower the knee down to the ground. Flatten out the toes. From here, you're going to roll to the right. Fall to the right so you can get the right forearm and a right from the hip to anchor down. Roll back to your left. And see if you pull yourself forward. If this is again too much, you can stay on your hands. Otherwise, keep telescoping your chest forward. Imagine you have a weight sitting on your seat and it's eventually spreading its weight all along the trunk of the body forward. And maybe the chest will come down more. So you have to use your imagination to visualize these actions to allow you to go deeper. Those of you who are very flat on the ground, chest on the ground, you can take your left arm in front of your foot, underneath your knee from the outside, and join your hands over your back. Your left shoulder's beside the foot. A little bit on the toes. Fix your gaze wherever you are. Forward. Imitate the lizard in every way possible. Now from here we're going to come back onto the hands. Pull your seats back, lift the toes, bow to the leg. Some of you might be able to get your elbows down to the ground. Your left shoulder is right beside the knee. Your hip is over the back knee as well, your right hip. Now those you can, lift your hand chest, hinge your seat forward, bend the toes under, make your way into Hanumanasana. So start to slide your foot forward, keep your shoulders over your hips, and just pulse gradually. With each pulse, you come further down. Imagine you're pulling, you're squeezing the mat between your feet as you inhale, you rise up. Exhale, you're stretching your mat with your feet, your toes on the back foot, your heel of the front foot. If you're all the way down, you bring your arms up. This pose says, I'm yours to do service. It exemplifies the faith and the courage and the devotion of Hanuman. So just reflect it in your pose as well. If you know the variations, go ahead. Feel as though you're flying right over the island of Sri Lanka, just as Hanuman did. Good, now we're going to come back. Plant your hands down, slide the back feel in towards your hands again, between your hands. Sink down to the seat. Doing this in a little bit of different order here. Kapiyasana. Allow your head to fall back in your arms. Lean away from the front leg. Feel as though you're falling towards the ground behind you. Falling back. Then from here you can stretch your arms. Keep your elbows close to the head. Try not to bend your elbows. Pull the arms back. Look behind. You might be able to see your fingers where they land. Maybe eventually they'll be over your toes. Now advanced practitioners, if you want, you can try to bring the back foot up to meet the head. Sometimes it helps to have your hands beside your hips. Keep your seat low and forward so that you have the balance. And then once you have the balance, the foot's on the head, you can take the arms up. Again, these are all just variations that those of you who want to try can. Now break the pose, come back upright, push into the front knee, and then try to get the legs to look like a box. Bend the toes under the back foot. Option one, raise your right arm up, take it to the outside of the knee, other hand on the seat. Push into the seat, pull down at the same time. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to your left. Push the knee towards the right. If you can lean back, see if you can take your hand to the heel. And keep pushing your knee and your foot towards your right as you turn more to your left. Look over your back shoulder. Those who want to go into Parivrtta Parsvakonasana, you can do that now. Turn back forward, right arm up, elbow to the outside of the thigh. The armpit sitting on the outside of the knee. Hands in Anjali Mudra or fist in your hand. Push into your fist, raise your body up so the belly's higher than the thigh. And keep on trying to bring the center of the chest to the thumbs. Roll the left shoulder all the way back. Feel so it should look like you're lying on your back eventually. Your shoulders at the same height. If you want to take a bind, make sure your elbows in the space underneath your knee close to your shin. And use your hand, pull your hips back so you can slide your hand underneath your leg. And you join your hands just against the belly. Left arm goes over your back and you hold it with your right Either fingers locked together or you hold the wrists with your right hand. Left shoulder turns back. Make sure you're not sagging down. Keep if your knee is up, keep it pressing up. Straight line from the heel all the way to the crown. Break the pose. Bring hands down on the ground in front. Step your left foot back. Move your left hand closer to the right. Vasisthasana. Press your hips up. Modification, just bring your left knee down to the ground. Or come onto your forearm if it's your wrist that's bothering you. Push your hips forward. Feel as though you're like a kite being blown from behind. And then switch. Come back to plank. Bring your right hand in front of your nose, closer to your left, and come up into Vasisthasana. You can stack your feet on top of one another, or left foot stays crossed in front of the other one. A little bit easier to keep the balance. Push hips forward again. Fly your arm back, open up through the heart. Good, now bring your hand back down. And from here, we're going to step the right foot forward, spin on your mat towards the long edge of the mat, arms out to the side, and come up again into star. So when you go to the right, when you turn to the right, hopefully you're facing towards camera. If not, just adjust. Turn yourself around 180 degrees. Back into Virabhadrasana 2. Again, come forward a little bit. Shoulders the height, fingers the height of the shoulders. Sink a little bit deeper if you can into the pose. Come into the consciousness of a warrior, strong, mighty, determined. Parshvakonasana. Again, take this version if you like with your forearm on the thigh. Make sure again hips not jutting up. Flatten it out, press it down, or your hand to the ground if you can. Left arm over the head, pull the left shoulder back, turn the face up. If you want to take a bind, shoulder slides in a little bit so the whole right arm can go underneath your leg. And you hold your left wrist or your fingers locked together. Pull the left shoulder back. Try to make sure that you're not hunching down. You want to make as though you're being pressed between two panes of glass, flat. Break the pose, bring the left hand over the head, turn forward. Come onto the roots of your toe. Should bring your knee down, flatten on the toes. Fall to your left forearm and your left front hip anchors down. Roll to the right forearm comes down. And then see if you can telescope your chest forward. See if you can make your way down flat on the ground. So you shouldn't, sometimes the tendency is either have your knee falling out to the side, in which case pull the foot out a little bit more so the knee's aligned to your toes, or the knee comes in and you have your right hip way higher than the other. Try to flatten it out a little bit more. Your knees over your foot and your knees close to the shoulder, and this will allow you to come down flatter and more evenly. If you want to take a bind, if you're flat on the ground, go ahead. If you know that variation. Don't be like a lizard, sunning itself on the warm earth. Merge with the form, imitate them every way possible. Now come back onto the hands. From here, bring your hips back, do this way. Ardha Hanumanasana. Pull the right hip back over the left knee. Left hip moves back as well. Hips are even and bow to the front leg. Use the belly, the weight of the body to just bring more release to the hamstring. Direct your attention to all those areas where you're feeling tight and send an intention of releasing there. That's what the prana will do. We'll go to that area and manifest that action. Now from here, lift hand, chest if you feel comfortable. If you're not sorely at your maximum, bring your seat forward and then start to slide your front heel forward. Again, just work the pose a little bit. Try to get your fingertips on either side of the hips. Keep your shoulders in line with your hips. And then again, pulse up and down. Carefully, don't go to a place of pain or anxiety or distress. It's not what you want to offer up to anybody. And then if you're flat down, you can take your other variations as you know. Embody the spirit of Hanuman. Pull yourself up. This pose, say, I'm yours to do your service. This pose says anything is possible as well. Take that leap of faith. As Dharma says, you can only go as far as your imagination, so cultivate a boundless imagination. And release. Bring your fingertips forward. Lean forward a little bit so you can pull the right foot in between your hands again. Then sink your seat right down. Raise your arms up. Take hold of the opposite elbows. And then lean back away from the leg. Make sure you're not crunching your lower back. Keep pulling the body up out of the hips. Keep curling the tailbone under. Eventually your body will open up. And then perhaps extend your arms fully for Kapiyasana. Just keep imagining yourself in the pose you're trying to attain. Picture yourself in the body of that being. Or picture yourself in the body of the guru who's always guiding you. Your inner guru. Try to connect with them. And they'll give you all their tricks. And then from here, make your way back up. Press into your hands, into the front knee, and pull your body upright. Bring your right foot in so that your legs like a box, bend the toes under and back foot. I'll do in this direction. You can see from this angle. Left arm up. Take the hand to the outside of the knee. Your right hand, either using the hand to roll the hip down or on your seat. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Exhale, turn to look towards your right. Keep pressing against the knee. Lean back if you like. Press your hand, fingers against the outside of the back heel. And keep pushing against your knee and your heel towards your left as you turn towards your right. This is very easy for you. Parivita Parsvakonasana. Left arm up. Allow the arm again up to sit on the outside of the knee. Hands together in prayer or fist. Push your body up, belly higher than the thigh. And then keep pressing against the outside of the leg. Keep bringing your center of the chest towards your thumb. Turn your face and your chest up. Take your bind if you can. Move your hips back. Use your right hand to guide the hand underneath the leg. And then lift your back knee up if you can. Make sure your hip is not too high. It's easier to lose your balance if you do that, so drop your seat to about the height of the knee. Roll your right shoulder back, keep strong through the back leg. Feel as though you're lying on your back. Break the pose. Come back into plank position. Do this way here. All right, Vasisthasana, second round. Bring the seat back. Bring your left hand towards the right, and come into Vasisthasana again. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper this time, slide your right toes back. If you're comfortable, you have to turn on your left foot as well. Bring your foot a little bit closer so you can get your hip higher. Move your shoulder in behind your hand so you have a nice strong arc. And if you have all your weight on your left hand, your left foot's at 45 degrees, your left foot, base the big toe down. And then you'll be able to take your weight up off the right foot easily. If you can, take hold of the knee. If you have the reach, take hold of the foot. And all the options available to you. Or you modify as you need to. Find your own form where you can find steadiness. We feel it's your best offering. And from here, release. Come back into plank. And move to the other side. I'd like to Bring your hips back as if you're doing downward facing dog. The right hand comes more to the center of the mat. Spin towards your left. Turn on your foot. Shorten your base a little bit. Your foot and your hand come closer together. Base the big toe down on the ground. Foot at 45 degrees. Your right foot. And see if you can just take weight up off your left. So you can bring it up if you can easily. Take hold of the knee if you have the reach. Again, take hold of the foot. Just try to keep imagining what your body looks like in a form and just make all the adjustments needed to make it as beautiful as possible, as beautiful of an offering as you can. Break the pose. Keep your hip high, your arm fully extended as you make your way back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften everything. Then lower down, or come into plank first, lower down onto the knees. You can either sit on your heels with your knees together, and or if you have the flexibility, you can sit between the heels, separate your feet a little bit so make room for your hips. And then walk your hands back, depending on your flexibility. Again, don't force your knees. You can either stay here, walk your hands back, lift your seat a little bit, curl the tail under, and then just try to roll the thighs towards another. Think, concentrate on lengthening the thighs. If you can take your hands to your feet, come onto your forearms. Maybe some of you can come right down onto your back. And if you're on your back, you can hold your opposite elbows. Now again, please be mindful of your condition of your knees. This is done to soften the knees, but of course, if you have any issues there, you have to be careful. Think of your body as a vehicle to carry out your mission. If you don't take care of the body, then it's not going to serve you too well. So keep up the maintenance. Constant, mindful, conscious practice. Now we're going to come back. So if you're on the back, place your hands on your feet, lift your chest, the head up off the ground, tuck your chin in, push yourself up and back. Okay, so now we're going to come into headstand, Shilshasana, the kinglet postures. If you know how to get into it, go ahead, right into it. Don't have to wait. Once you find your way there, once you're in a steady position, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Take your lotus, if you have a lotus, to make it the mind even more one-pointed. Others, all others, follow me. You can either do, if you're very uncomfortable with inversions, just place your hand in front of your forehead and lift your seat up and try to get over your knees. And your upper back will look like a wall, and you will feel stretch in the back to the neck. If it's too much, just walk your head forward a little bit. Okay, that's option number one. Or you can do teddy bear. Place your head down, your hands and your head form a base. Your hands are in front, not beside your head. So your arms are at 90 degrees. Lift up your seat. Make sure you walk your feet as far forward as possible so your seat is over your shoulders more or less. And you can just press just below the knees against your elbows. Just flick your toes up, away from the ground. Guess what? You're in inversion. If you feel comfortable, press into your hands and lift your feet up higher, closer to your seat. You can move your knees in a little bit towards your shoulders as well, and your upper arms. Okay, so that's option two. It's very close to the ground, so it's, you have quite good control in that pose. If you want to try to come closer to headstand, take hold of your opposite elbows, and this is also good if you find too much pressure just with your tripod. Make sure you can hold the opposite elbows easily, interlace your fingers, place your head between the palms. And then lift your seat, walk your feet towards your elbows again as much as you can. And bring one foot back behind your head. Allow it to dangle heavily, the heels just hanging close to the seat. And just pulse up and down, up off the heel. Keep pressing into your forearms, keep hugging the back of the head with your hands. So it just provides the support. Make sure your elbows are not out to the side. They should be close to the head, no more than shoulder width apart. Eventually, when your heel comes up, you might be able to bend your toes back again away from the ground, and then you're up. You can push if that's accessible, your thigh into your belly, and then eventually if you push to the back foot, you will be up, your feet floating about the height of the hips. Keep your feet flexed. Don't jump, don't go fast. Always with control. Just lift up and down, soft movements. Otherwise you might end up on your back. Okay, so nice and controlled. Those of you who are up can come into lotus if you like, if you're not already there. Other options. You can see if you can lift your head up off the ground. So push into your arms, engage your core, and then lift your head up. Hover the head above the ground. Sometimes easier just tip your head forward. Also easier for this if you split your legs one from the other instead of just having your legs up. Okay, so just the increased body position spread out will help you keep the balance a little bit easier. Again, this is an option. Good. Just stay a little bit longer. As Dharma says, you don't hold the poses, you don't make progress. In 20 years, you're still in the same place. And then come down. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out, relax, soften. Roll your way up. And now shoulder stand. So you can come into it from seated position. I'll show one entry for those who are more advanced who don't have any shoulder neck issues. So if you do have any shoulder neck issues, probably not a good one for you. But for those of you who are more advanced, you can try this one. You can come in from downward facing dog. So your arms in front, you lower your elbows down on the ground, tuck your chin in, and bring your head down. So then you can walk your feet forward. Actually, sometimes it helps to lift your elbows a little bit. And you just try to roll around your back, chin on your chest, until your shoulders come down. And place your hands on the back and make your way into shoulder stand. Okay, with your hands on your mid back and your arms close together, you'll find more height. Otherwise, you can do it from your back. So your legs are down, press into your arms, push into your arms and send your feet over your head first. Bring your shoulders back, join your wrists together if you can. Again, to get your elbows close. Bring your hands to your heels, your palms are on mid back roughly. Bring one or both legs up at a time. Modification, just keep your knees close to your shoulders. You can stay here like that if you like. Or if it's too much still, you just keep your legs up, your feet the same line as your hips, and you just sit on your hands. You can place your feet on a wall, put yourself against the wall if you like as well. Now if you're right on top of your shoulders, you can see if you can take your hands. You'll find the balance. You'll know when you feel balance. You have to come right on your shoulders, bring your feet forward, hands on your thighs. If you have a lotus, of course, do your lotus again. And even in your lotus, try to get your knees up as high as possible. So you have to push your chest up. You can use your hands again to guide yourself into a straighter line. Bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows. Stay there with your attention fixed on that space between the eyebrows. Try to imagine an Om symbol sitting there. Try to see the Om clearly, however you want to picture it. Maybe it's a golden Om, maybe it's made of diamond. However you like to picture it. Try to feel the vibrations of the Om within, resonating within. Try to hear it singing as well, this beautiful sound made up of all the tones, colors, and vibrations in the universe. It's this ultimate mantra. Now from there, with without changing your mind focus, your point of focus. Without losing your own, you can come into Pindasana if you have your lotus still. Feel free to take your bind, wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, and join your hands just against your legs below the seat. If you don't have a lotus, bring your feet down again and plow. If your feet don't come down, try to push your hands into your back gently. See if your legs will come, your feet will come down further. Your hips are over your shoulders. Alternately, bend your knees, push your thighs against your body, your knees will come beside your head. Squeeze into the ears and release. Remove yourself from all distractions coming in from the ears and eyes. Go deeper within, withdraw from your senses. Next pose, listen carefully. If you have the ability to do so, place your hands on your back, bring one foot back down towards the ground. Keep pressing your hands into your seat to support as you come down. So one foot lands and then the other foot lands, so you're in bridge pose. If that's too much, just roll your way out and bring your feet towards your seat, lift your hips, come into bridge pose. Okay, from here you have a few options. For a fish, you just bring your hands together, your index and your thumbs touch, and you sit on your wrists. You extend your legs, you push into your forearms, lift your chest, and bring the head back, top of the head to the ground. That's fish pose. If you want to try couch, slide your heels together, lift your heels, walk forward on your shoulders and elbows, waddle forward until you can take hold of the heels, the ankles. And then once you have your ankles, lift your head up off the ground so you can bring your knees down in front of the feet and bring the top head down. You're sitting on your feet, your heels. If that's comfortable, you can let go of your ankles if you feel comfortable and bring your forearms in front of your head. Hold the opposite elbows. Couch pose. So different options here available to all levels of practitioners. Now for those in fish, you can also raise your legs up 12 inches off the mat. And everybody now, fast streak of breath, breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Now those of you who are in couch pose can come right into Urdhva Dhanurasana from here. Place your hands beside your head, your fingers facing towards you, open up, turn your fingers out a little bit. Now push into your hands, push into roots of your toes, lift your head up off the ground, and then adjust your feet so they're parallel. And then come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can also, from here, just come into bridge, so you can slide your head back down if it's too much, and then lift up into bridge. Okay, so those of you who are in fish, bring your feet close to your seat, and you can come onto your shoulders. You lift your hips and just keep your shoulders, back shoulders, and your head on the ground like this. Bridge pose. Curl the tail under. Join your hands, interlace your fingers, and have them underneath your body, your seat. Now, depending where you are, whether you're Urdhva Dhanurasana, whether you're in bridge pose, if you want, see if you can raise the right knee up in towards your chest. That's my left leg, sorry. Left knee into your chest and straight up. Okay, so you can do this whether you're in bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana, that's an option. If you want, can you come up off the right hand? Come on just the index finger of the right hand. Push hard through the left hand. Those who are very comfortable doing this, you can see if you can take your hand to your standing leg. So you have to have good concentration for that. Hold your breath. Take your hand to your leg. Now the other side. Come down to rest in between if you need to. Otherwise, if you're strong, you raise your right leg up. You might need to turn your left toes out a little bit. Charge the leg. You can do this from bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana. So you can come just on the index finger of your left hand. Okay, and then those who want to try, the advanced professionals, as Dharma says, you can see if you can take your hand to your thigh. Okay, so one side is always harder than the other, maybe just dance with it. And then from here, make your way down onto your back. And then just rest on your back for a moment. Breathe in. Exhale, let go of all fatigue. Sigh it all out. Let it just drop out of the body. Learn to turn the effort off instantly. Imagine you're going to sleep. And then come up, any which way you like. Arms up over the head perhaps, and then roll up or roll onto your side and make your way up. All right, so bring your feet in, if you can. Lift your seat up off the ground, put your hands beside your seat, and make your way up into sort of a half squat. So your feet are about 3 inches away from either edge of the mat, 2.5 to 3 inches. Take your arms around behind and hold the opposite wrist here. Push against the backs of the knees. Lower your seat about the height of the knees. Some of you might stay here, your belly between your thighs. If you can, move your seat up a little bit. Slide your arms further down, tuck your chin in. And see if you can cup your hands around the ears. And push the seat up so that your legs are straight. This is called stork pose. So you have to slide your arms further down. If you have them against the knees, your legs will not straighten. Move your feet in a little bit more. Those who can palm your way back and try to interlace your fingers behind your head, forming a helmet for your head with your hands. Look up behind your seat. And then release. From here, come into a squat. The wrists about the height of the shoulders. And from here, this way you can see. So you slide your left shoulder in, close in, your elbows close to your root. Lift your seat a little bit, and so you can get your left shoulders against the inside of the knee, the thigh, and then bring your hand onto your back. Right hand comes up. Just catch it with your left hand and raise the right side of the seat up. Keep your head close to the ground. Keep your head and try to straighten out your right leg all the way, eventually the left leg as well. Now those who can, come up into birded paradise. Walk your right foot in a little bit closer. Lift the left heel and then push into your foot. Take a half breath in to lighten up. And come up. Once you're up, then you can straighten your leg. Try not to allow the knee to go away from the shoulder. Lean to your right a little bit. More flexible. Try to get your legs straight up. You can hold opposite wrists up close to the elbows if you like. Come back down. Okay, so for those of you who couldn't get quite up, you can always you can hold the knee. You can take hold of wrap the arm around the front of the leg, this one. Okay, so this is an option. Let's try it on the other side. Come back into a squat. Pull the right shoulder in very close to the knees, the inside. Lift your seat, not too much, just a little bit so you get the whole arm underneath. Your hand is now on the back, left hand over your head. Catch it with the wrist with your right hand. And then pull on the arm, try to get your left side of the seat to come up, your head to come down. Lengthen the spine. You can move your hand closer to the elbow if you have the bind. Now you can stay here or move into birded paradise. Slide your right toes in, press into your left foot. Take half breath in and push your way up. Okay, don't do it too slow. You have to come up a little smoothly. Keep your shoulder close to the knee if you can at this point. If you're up, straighten your leg. And in here you can take your left hand to your wrist or your forearm as well. Lift up. Again, option to just hold the knee close. Lean forward a little bit, wrap your arm around the front and the outside of the leg and come into this modification here. And then release. Slowly bring your leg back down. Okay, so now let's come down onto your knees. Open up the knees a little bit, it's about hip width. Bend the toes under. Place your hands on your seat, lean back, bring your right hand on your right heel, left hand on left heel. Lock your baby fingers together, and then from here, hold the heel with your thumb, fork your thumb and your index finger around the heel. Push your hips forward. Feels like you're gonna fall forward on your thighs. Allow your head to go back, rapid pause. Come back, lean back. Okay, from here, place your hands back on the seat, push the seat, pull down and come back up. Child's pose, flatten out your toes, rest. And then make your way back up. You can do the same pose. If you have more flexibility, you can keep your feet flat, camel. Start in the same way, place your hands on the seat, lean back. You have to engage your core and your thigh muscles. Anchor down through the shins. Bring your right hand on the flat of the right foot and your left hand on your other foot. Your feet and your shins are parallel. And then push your hips forward. Allow your head to drop all the way back so the chest is the highest point. Place your hands on the seat one at a time. Push into your seat, pull down, and come back up. Next pose. Well, we do child's pose for a moment. Again, forehead on the ground, belly on your thighs. If you want, you can have it on your back on either side of the spine. Roll up. Last time. Third time's a charm. So you can do one of the ones I just demonstrated, depending on your ability. If you feel more apt, you can come into Kapotasana, or another variation of Urdhva You can bring your elbow, hold your elbow, and keep your thighs and your shins anchored down. Move back, stretch your arm out, so you can get your hand to the ground. If you can, take the other hand, take hold the edge of the mat. You can stay here if you like. Okay. Other option, if you can't come down from the above, lie on your back first. Take hold the edges of the mat, and then slide your head in and then lift it up. Or you can go into Kapotasana. Once your head's off the ground, you can see if you can creep your fingers towards your knees, come down onto your elbows, hold your toes, and bring your head between your feet. Very flexible. You can hold your heels. Again, be mindful of your shoulders, your abilities. Don't force your way into a place that will bring you to a place of pain or distress. Make way, come out of pose. Those who have the strength. In Kapotasana, you can press your way back up. Otherwise, just make your way back onto your back. From here, child's pose again, or stay on your back if you're on your back. Raise your head up. Good. So, I'll do one more maybe. So, forearm balance. We've done this one a while.
So for here, you want to make sure your elbows are not too wide. The more wider they are, the more they tend to slip out, and then you sort of collapse into pose. So you want to try to pull your elbows in closer to the shoulders, spread your fingers. Thumbs can be together and spread the fingers equally. And you anchor down through the forearms. You can do this against the wall if you like. So you're facing the wall, and then your chest is facing the wall. You bring one foot, I can't do it very easy because I don't have a wall, but you see if you can walk your way up the wall. Okay, and then you keep one foot on the wall, and your other foot over the head, and then you just flick your toes away from the wall. Okay, if you can do it from the middle of the ground, away from the wall, then go ahead. You just try to keep your feet close to your elbows as much as possible. Pulse up and down lightly. Again, don't jump too hard, you're going to land on your back. Keep your legs very bent, close to your seat so you have better control. And even if you go over, you tuck your chin in, you land softly. So your head's on the ground, so less chance of hurting your neck. So just keep on pressing up lightly. Press into your hands. Just find your balance. Of course, if you know other variations, go ahead. Some of you might be able to press one foot into your knee, and then you might be able to get your foot easier to your head with one foot assisting by pushing into your thigh. It's a little trick. Eventually, both feet will come down. Press the toes one into the other, and then maybe the toes will touch the head. According to your condition, at your risk. Then come out of the pose, relax for a moment, child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll your way up. Adho Matsyendrasana. Left leg extended, right foot on the other side of the left leg, close between the ankle and the knee, not close to the hip. However, if you want to fold the leg in, your left foot is beside your right hip, and your foot will be on the other side of the knee. Okay, close somewhere along the mid thigh. Right hand behind the back, left arm up, reach up, reach across, and hold. Press into the other thigh with the left arm. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. If you know variations with binds, go ahead. Sometimes it's nice to take the left heel and pull on the heel as you turn. Try to initiate the twist low in the body at the base of the hips. Just imagine you can see right through the body at the spine, spiraling upwards like a corkscrew. Make sure you're not leaning back. Keep your hand close right against the back. And if it's legs extended, look like this. Now switch sides. You need to take this modified version. Right arm up. Go to the outside of the left thigh with the right arm. Push the lower back up and in, and turn to your left. Eventually, even the head turns. And the chin comes over the back, your back shoulder. You're folding the leg in, of course. Do the same variation as you did the first time on the first side. Keep upright, keep rising up out of the hips on the inhale. Make sure you don't fall back into your body, into your hips on the exhale as you twist. One more breath. Push against the other thigh, turn a little bit more. And then slowly release, make your way onto your back. So lie down gently. From the very start of the practice to the end, always move with mindfulness, move with softness, not in a way that will agitate the witness who's watching. Once you're down on your back, relax. Surrender everything, all the mental, physical, and emotional obstacles that stand in the way of allowing you to receive the best of the practice. Imagine all flooding in now. All the benefits come in through the pores of the skin like great beams of light. And direct it all to this center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. This is the spiritual heart where God resides. And as God is equally present in all beings, all the benefits that you direct to God will go out to all beings everywhere. Just a few exercises of breathing just to help you relax, to let go more, to make yourself fully receptive to all those benefits. The more you take in, of course, the more you have to give. Everything is for sharing. What I have is yours. All yours. From the toes of the left foot, inhale all the way up through the left leg, all the way up through the spine to the crown. Exhale down the same path through the whole left side of the body, just sinking down into the ground, the left side, the back, the leg, the hip, everything. The foot falls up to the left. From the right toes, inhale all the way up through the right leg, right through the spine to the crown. Exhale back down the same path and feel the whole right side of the body getting heavy and sinking down on the way back to the foot. Everything falls into the ground. From the left fingertips, inhale up through the hand, through the arm, through the shoulder, neck, into the head, top of the head. Exhale back the same path. The left side of the head gets heavy, the shoulder, the arm. Everything feels like dead weight, lifeless. From the right fingertips, inhale up through the hand, through the arm, shoulder, all the way up through the neck into the crown. Exhale all the way back down that same path. Again, feeling the whole left, right side, right arm falling and sinking into the ground, getting so heavy. From the crown now, inhale down the spine, all the way over to the left hip, down the left leg to the foot, to the toes of the foot, left foot. As you exhale back, all the way back up, feel any residual tension that wasn't addressed the first time removed and addressed. From the crown, down again, down the spine, this time down to the right hip, the right leg, all the way from the foot to the toes. Exhale back the same path. Soften any areas of tension that didn't get the attention the first time. Arms, legs, the back, heavy, sagging from its own weight into the ground. From the solar plexus, that source of inner power, inhale up to the crown. Make it available to all beings again. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your own power to do good to others and for others. From the fingertips, from the toes, and through the pores of the skin, inhale the best of the best in your body and outside the body as it's coming in through the pores. Bring it all the way up through the body, through the spine, right to the crown. Exhale back down the spine and out to the fingertips, out to the toes, through all areas of the body. Send all that goodness. And send it out of your pores as well to all beings everywhere. From the base of the spine, inhale up all the way to the base, to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Feel fully grounded and in connection and in union with all beings. So imagine you're everywhere. For that is your true nature, boundless, infinite, formless. Wisdom, love. These have no shapes or forms. They cannot be defined, cannot be seen, but they keep going and getting stronger through the practice, through the many lives that we lead. And in each life, we become more spiritually correct. All on the way towards self-realization, the ultimate goal, where we see sameness in everything, where we see God in all beings, no separation. Now keep that sense of union with God, with you, as you continue on in your day-to-day life. And keep on trying to spread to all beings. So make that your mission from here and onwards. Prepare to sit. Make your way back to seat position in a way that is gentle, mindful. Remain supreme amidst all the difficulties. And close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining today. Have a wonderful